Hello dear students, welcome to the today's geography session. We will continue with our lesson number 9, agriculture. Yesterday we have finished with the topic. We have started with the types of farming. In that we have finished subsistence farming. Yes or no? In subsistence farming we have seen the first type, that is intensive farming. Now let us today start with our second type of subsistence farming, that is shifting cultivation. Yes, intensive farming we saw that it is carried out in one and the same area, okay, at one farm only for years together. On the same farm cultivation is done, okay. And in shifting cultivation we are every year a new area is there for cultivating. So let us see more details about shifting cultivation, page number 55. Shifting cultivation. Shifting cultivation is a primitive type of cultivation. This type of cultivation is practiced in the tropics in densely forested areas. So remember, this type of shifting cultivation is a very ancient, earliest, first type of cultivation which was practiced very in the ancient times. And then this is practiced in which areas? It is practiced in the tropics, which are densely forested areas. Turn your page to 56. These are practiced mainly in densely areas and where there are hilly tracts, hilly regions. The farmer initially selects a piece of land in the forest. In order to make it cultivate, he clears the land by cultivating down the trees, plants, removing the shrubs and grass. So see what happens. The farmer, before cultivating the land, he is actually selecting a piece of land, okay. And then after select, but the land is selected in which areas? In the forest area. So forest areas, but obvious, forest means it is densely densely with trees, shrubs and long many plants are there. Yes or no? So they need to clear all this before they want to cultivate, make it available for cultivation. So to make the land available for cultivation, they are clearing the forest, that is they are cutting down the trees, removing the plants and all the shrubs and grass, everything is removed and the land is cleared for agriculture, for cultivation. Once the cut trees dry out, he burns them. Then after cutting, as soon as the trees are dried, they are burnt and the leftover ash gets mixed in the soil and acts as manure. So after the burning of the trees, what ash we get, okay, that ash gets mixed with the soil to form good manure, fertilizer, okay. This acts as a manure which helps in the growing of the crops, in the nourishment of the crops. Sowing and harvesting is done before the rainy season. So these two activities relating to farm, that is sowing and harvesting, means right from the sowing of the seeds to right from the cutting of the trees is plants, is done before rainy season. You can see figure 9.6. Can you see the shifting cultivation there? Yes, what type of it is? So that is called as shifting cultivation. This type it is. Then the production obtained from this is not sufficient to fulfill the food requirement. That means we get very less production from this type of farming. From shifting cultivation we get less type of crop production. It is not even sufficient to fulfill the food requirement. Hence people undertake hunting, fishing and gathering of bulbs and roots from forest. So they can't depend only on the agriculture or the cultivation occupation. They, as it is not fulfilling their needs, they have to undertake another jobs also. So what type of occupations they are doing? They are doing hunting, fishing, gathering of bulbs. Bulbs is that fleshy part, it looks like a tulip. The fleshy part downside is called as the bulb, and roots from which the leaves are coming out, okay, that is the downside part. Fleshy part is called as bulb and roots from forest. So all these things are their other occupation. In this type of farming, the fallow period is longer than the crop period. So what do you mean by fallow period? Fallow period means inactive period, when there is no work, idle period, okay. So they more time is their fallow period, means for maximum time they are inactive, means they have no job to do, no other occupation to do. So if you compare with the crop period, the crop cultivation period, that is less, and the idle period is very more than the crop period. After the productivity of the land depletes in 2 to 3 years, a different piece of land is selected for cultivation. So, after doing the cultivation on that land, after 2 to 3 years, the land depletes. Depletes means what? It is used up, it is exhausting. Okay, so the land is getting used up, it get exhausted, so we can't cultivate there more. So the productivity of the land is exhausting in after 2 to 3 years, and that's why we have to search for new piece of land, and then we have to do the cultivation. Okay, then let us see, now this was about the intensive farming. Let us see now the commercial farming. Okay, intensive subsistence farming, we have seen intensive farming and shifting cultivation, and now let us see commercial farming. Extensive grain farming and plantation agriculture are the two major types covered under commercial farming. Likewise, commercial farming is classified into four types, yes or no? But out of that, these two types, that is extensive grain farming and plantation agriculture, these are the major two types which are covered under commercial farming. Then let us see the first one, extensive grain farming. What are the characteristics of this extensive grain farming? Let us have a look. Farm size is greater than 200 hectares, so it is really a very big area. 200 hectares means it's very long area. Okay, so the farm size is very big in this type of farming. Due to large farm size and sparse population in the region, this type of farming is carried out with the help of machines like tractors and crushers. So, as the farm size is large and the population is sparse, sparse means what? Scattered. Okay, they are dispersed, thinly dispersed. So, since the population is scattered and the farm size is very big, so we need to take the help of the machines. So, all the machines have to be used to do the work, farm related work. So, machines, which type of machines are used? Tractors and crushers. Also, pesticides are sprayed with the help of helicopters or planes. Now, to spray the pesticides on such a big farm area, more than 200 hectares, is it possible that the manpower can do? No. So, that's why spraying is also done through the helicopters or planes. So you can understand that this type of farming is very expensive, yes or no? We need machines, we need helicopters, so it is a very expensive type of farming. Monocrop, a single crop. Mono means what? One, single. A single crop cultivation is the striking characteristic of this type of farming. Okay, so the special characteristic of this type of farming is that we can cultivate one single crop, that is monocrop. The crops are wheat or corn. So either we can grow the wheat or we can grow the corn. Besides these, barley, oats, soybean are also cultivated to some extent. So also you can see that not only wheat or corn, but we can also grow barley, oats, soybean. This type of crops can also be cultivated to some extent, means in a little less portion. Heavy capital investment is necessary for this type of farming. Yes, I told this type of farming is very expensive. That's why it needs large amount of investment. Large capital, heavy capital is needed for this type of farming. Why it is needed? Because the expenditures are high. Since huge expenditures are needed for the purchase of machinery, fertilizers, pesticides, go downs, transport cost, etc. All these are the expenditures which need to be bared by when we are practicing this type of farming. So remember, this extensive grain farming is needing very heavy capital investment, and also the expenditure is also very large in this type of farming. The problems in extensive grain farming are droughts. Yes, since it is a very very big farm area, so lot of bulk quantity of water is needed to give to these crops, yes or no? So if at all sometimes less rainfall is there or less conservation of water is there, then the circumstances of droughts will arise. At that time these farms are affected, as they are on a large scale, they are extensive farm, yes or no? So that's why if droughts conditions are there, then they can face problem. Then attack by pest, yes. See, everything will be affected because it is having a big farm area. So even if pest is attacked in the smaller area, it will get spread and the whole big farm will get destroyed. All the crops will get destroyed. Locust, what do you mean by locust? Locust are, a large tropical grasshopper. They are mainly tropical in nature. They are from tropics. They have strong power of flight, means they can cause damage, extensive damage to our vegetation. Whatever crops are produced, whatever is our green vegetation, they can cause extensive, on a large scale damage they can cause. So they are a large tropical grasshoppers. Okay. And market fluctuations, also problems can happen if there is fluctuations are going on in the market. Always there are the demand and supply, according to the economic conditions the market prices are keeping on fluctuating. So these all are the farmers which can be faced, what, in the which type of farming, in extensive grain farming. Okay, I will continue in my next video. Okay.